RiRi cries uncontrollably after what just happened to A$AP Rocky. Nobody, and I mean nobody, was ready for this moment. The world woke up expecting another glamorous Rihanna and A$AP Rocky headline. But instead, it was silence. Then confusion. Then shock. And finally, tears. Not the soft, private tears Rihanna usually hides behind designer sunglasses and controlled interviews. These were raw, uncontrollable, heartbreaking tears that stopped everyone in their tracks. Because something happened to A$AP Rocky that changed everything. The moment everything shifted. It all began late in the evening. Rihanna was at home. No makeup. Hair tied back. Barefoot. Calm. She had just put the kids to sleep and was scrolling aimlessly on her phone, waiting for Rocky to call like he always did. He was supposed to be home early. But the minutes passed. Then an hour. Then 2. No call. No text. That uneasy feeling, the one she hates, started creeping in. And then, her phone rang. Not Rocky's name. An unknown number. She hesitated. Something told her not to answer. But she did. And within seconds, her entire body went cold. The news that dropped her to the floor. The voice on the other end was calm. Too calm. "Ms. Fenty, this is regarding Rakeem Mayers." Her heart stopped. She asked them to repeat it. They did. Slowly. Carefully. What followed shattered her. Rocky had just been involved in a serious, life-altering situation, one that blindsided everyone close to him. Plans cancelled. Movements frozen. Everything put on pause. The future they had been building together. Suddenly, uncertain. Rihanna didn't scream. She didn't yell. She didn't even cry at first. She just sat there. Staring at the wall. Phone slipping from her hands. Her chest tightening as reality hit her all at once. Then it happened. RiRi breaks down. She collapsed. Not dramatically. Not for cameras. She collapsed like someone whose entire world just cracked in half. Her breathing became uneven. Her hands shook. Her lips trembled as she whispered his name over and over. "Rocky. Rocky, please." The tears came fast. Uncontrollable. The kind you can't stop even if you try. She cried into the floor. Into her palms. Into the silence of a house. That suddenly felt too big, too empty, too quiet. This wasn't the Rihanna the world knows. This was a woman terrified of losing the man who stood beside her when the world doubted her. The man who loved her without conditions. The man who made her feel safe enough to be soft. Why this hit her so hard? People forget. Before the fame, before the fashion, before the headlines. A$AP Rocky wasn't just her partner. He was her peace. He was there when she stepped away from music and the world questioned her. He protected her during pregnancy when rumors flew. He defended her when critics attacked. He chose family when fame would have been easier. And now? Something happened that made Rihanna face a thought she never allowed herself to imagine. What if everything changes overnight? That fear broke her. The scene that left everyone speechless. When Rihanna finally arrived to see Rocky, witnesses say she couldn't even walk straight. Her legs trembled. Her hands clutched her chest. Security tried to slow her down, but she pushed past them. When she saw him, she froze. Then burst into tears again. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just silent sobbing, the kind that comes from deep pain. She held his hand like she was afraid he'd disappear if she let go. She leaned her forehead against his and whispered something only he could hear. People nearby turned away. Some cried too. Because that moment wasn't about celebrity. It was about love under pressure. Rocky's reaction that made it worse. And then Rocky did something that shattered her even more. He apologized. Not for what happened, but for putting her through this. That's when Rihanna completely lost it. She shook her head through tears and told him, through broken breaths, that she would choose him again and again, no matter what. That nothing was worth losing him. That she wasn't going anywhere. That this wasn't the end. Fans noticed something deeper. Soon after, fans noticed Rihanna disappear from public view. No posts. No appearances. No playful comments. Just silence. And when she finally re-emerged days later, people noticed her eyes. Swollen. Tired. Heavy. This wasn't exhaustion. This was emotional weight. Fans flooded social media with messages. Protect Rihanna at all costs. You can see the pain in her eyes. This love is real. She's hurting bad. Even longtime critics went quiet. Because some moments are bigger than opinions. What this moment really means. This situation changed something between them. Not in a bad way. In a real way. It reminded them how fragile life is. How fast everything can change. How love isn't about perfect moments, but standing firm when things fall apart. Rihanna didn't cry because she's weak. She cried because she loves deeply. And when you love that hard, you feel everything. Final thought. This wasn't just another headline. This was a reminder that behind the diamonds, fashion, and fame, there's a woman who almost lost her emotional ground in one phone call. And a man who realized just how much he means to her. One moment. One event. One emotional collapse. That's all it took to show the world. This love is real. And it's unbreakable. Alright, here's a very long, highly emotional, viral-style fictional story, written like a YouTube narration that hooks viewers, escalates drama, and keeps them watching till the end. Warning: fictional and for entertainment purposes only. RiRi cries uncontrollably after what just happened to ASAP Rocky. No one expected this. Not Rihanna. Not ASAP Rocky. Not their closest friends. And definitely not the millions of fans who woke up to see Rihanna breaking down in tears, barely able to stand, her hands shaking as she clutched her phone. What just happened to ASAP Rocky sent shockwaves through the music industry, and left Rihanna completely shattered. It started like any other day. That morning, Rihanna was calm. Peaceful, even. She had just finished checking on the kids, kissed Rocky goodbye earlier, and sent him a playful message like she always did. Text me when you get there, Daddy Red Heart. Everything felt normal. Too normal. Rocky was supposed to have a routine appearance, something low-key, something they had done 100 times before. Nothing risky. Nothing dramatic. Or so she thought. The call that changed everything. Hours passed. No reply. At first, Rihanna brushed it off. Rocky was always busy. Meetings ran long. Phones died. But then, her phone rang. And the moment she saw the number, her heart dropped. Not Rocky. Not a friend. It was someone official. She answered. And within seconds, Rihanna's face drained of color. Her knees buckled. Her breath caught in her chest. Her hands began to tremble so violently she almost dropped the phone. Whatever was said on the other end made her whisper just one word. What? Then louder. No, 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 please tell me you're joking. RiRi breaks down completely. Witnesses later said Rihanna collapsed into a chair, tears instantly flooding her eyes. Not soft tears. Not quiet crying. This was uncontrollable sobbing. She covered her mouth, gasping for air, repeating Rocky's name over and over again like a prayer. Her assistant rushed in. Then security. Then family. But nothing could calm her. Because what had just happened to ASAP Rocky was something no one ever prepares for. What happened to ASAP Rocky? Rocky had been unexpectedly pulled into a situation he never saw coming. A chain of events spiraled out of control, fast. One moment, everything was fine. The next, his entire world was thrown into chaos. Plans cancelled. Schedules erased. Security intensified. And suddenly, Rocky was facing a moment that could change his life forever. The kind of moment that makes time stop. The kind that makes you think about your kids. Your partner. Your future. Rihanna's worst fear comes true. When Rihanna finally arrived, she barely made it through the doors. Her eyes were swollen. Her makeup ruined. Her body visibly shaking. The moment she saw Rocky, she lost it. She ran to him, wrapped her arms around him, and cried into his chest so hard her whole body convulsed. People nearby said they had never seen Rihanna like this. Not on stage. Not in interviews. Not during past heartbreaks. This was raw terror. She kept whispering. I thought I was about to lose. You scared me. Please don't ever leave me like that again. Rocky held her tightly, his own eyes glassy, his jaw clenched as he tried to stay strong for her. The moment fans couldn't stop talking about. At one point, Rihanna pulled back, looked at Rocky's face, and completely broke down again. She cried so hard she had to sit. Her hands trembled as she touched his face, as if checking whether he was really there. That image, Rihanna crying uncontrollably while holding ASAP Rocky, would later flood social media, sending fans into panic mode. Comments exploded. This is heartbreaking. Protect them at all costs. I've never seen RiRi like this. Whatever happened must have been serious. Behind closed doors. The truth hits hard. Once they were alone, reality finally sank in. This wasn't just a scare. This was a wake-up call. Rihanna cried again, quieter this time, the kind of tears that come when the adrenaline wears off and fear settles deep in your chest. She admitted she had imagined the worst. Imagined explaining to their kids. Imagined life without him. Imagined waking up alone. Rocky listened silently, holding her hand, knowing how close everything had come to falling apart. ASAP Rocky's emotional confession. Then Rocky did something no one expected. He apologized. Not casually. Not quickly. Deeply. He told Rihanna he hadn't realized how vulnerable everything really was, until he saw her like that. Until he saw the fear in her eyes. Until he realized how much he meant to her, and how much she meant to him. His voice cracked. And that was when Rihanna cried again. Fans noticed something different afterward. In the days that followed, fans noticed subtle but powerful changes. Rihanna stayed close to Rocky. Rocky stayed quieter than usual. Public appearances were minimal. Security doubled. And then came the posts. Not flashy. Not promotional. Just love. Subtle photos. Meaningful captions. Moments that felt more intimate than ever before. Fans knew. Something serious had happened. Something that shook them to the core. Why this moment changed everything. This wasn't just a scare. It was a turning point. For Rihanna, it reminded her that love isn't guaranteed. For Rocky, it reminded him that he's not just living for himself anymore. And for fans, it showed a side of Rihanna rarely seen, not the superstar, not the icon. But a woman terrified of losing the man she loves. Final thought. Rihanna didn't cry because she's weak. She cried because she loves deeply. And when what just happened to ASAP Rocky threatened that love, even for a moment, it broke her. One thing is clear now. After this moment, nothing between Rihanna and ASAP Rocky will ever be the same again.